Tandem Nomads, episode 237. Growing your email list is really important, but you might lack some ideas of how to attract your ideal clients into your email list. So I'm going to share with you here 10 ways you can actually create a great free resource for your audience to download and really want to hear from you through your newsletter. Hello, Nomad Nation. Welcome to Tandem Nomads, the podcast show and entrepreneurship platform where you can find great inspiration and guidance to grow a successful portable business and thrive in your global nomadic life. This is your host, Emel Deregi. I'm a business and marketing coach and the founder of Tandem Nomads. Today's topic is an important one, something that I see too many entrepreneurs skipping, especially solo entrepreneurs who have portable businesses, which is growing their email list. Every single time that I have a client come to me because they are struggling to make consistent revenue, very often I realize through the assessment session that they are actually having a very small list of potential clients who are signing up to their email list to receive their content on a regular base. So today I'm going to talk to you about how you can attract your ideal client through your content, especially through a lead magnet or freebie. So if you are not familiar with this term, I will explain you in a few words what this means and give you some great examples. In fact, 10 specific examples that you can implement to attract your ideal audience. But before I go into that, I really want to insist on the importance of growing your email list. So if you're not already familiar with the concept of growing your email list, know that every business, even non-online businesses, but especially portable businesses, you need to really be able to attract people in your world. But most importantly, you need to make sure to have their contacts. In fact, social media is a great platform to get exposure, to get to know people, but there's nothing that you control more in your business than your leads. So the leads are the names and the email addresses of people who are part of your target audience. And this is the best way for you to create a relationship with them, to warm your audience, and to convert them into clients on a regular basis with your offer. So for you to be able to make your offer and not depend on other people's audiences, you need to create your own list of potential clients, people who proactively sign up for your list to be able to get informed on what you have to offer. But also, having a free resource like a lead magnet is a way to serve your audience, to give them value. And this is really important element that I really insist on. In fact, before your audience becomes clients, they need first of all to know you, then like you, and trust you. And nothing better than consistent content and a lead magnet and free resources that you offer in exchange of their emails. So as a side note, I have a few episodes where I go deeper into the importance of content and also in the importance of converting your audience into hot prospects. So I will put in the show notes of this episode other episodes that will complement this one really well, all about how to become the go-to expert in your field and how to convert your audience into hot prospects. So make sure to listen to these episodes if you need more guidance in that field. Know that your revenue growth is directly related to the size of your email list. And there is an actual mathematical formula where you can predict your potential revenue based on the size of your email list. This is how correlated your email list is to your revenue. So in the show notes of this episode, I have a workbook for you where you will find that formula. So make sure to go to the resources of the show notes and find the workbook where you'll be able to download the formula at the end of this third section of my workbook, which is called Conversion. I also talk about this formula in the episodes that I mentioned in the show notes. So go to tandemnomads.com/237 and get all those elements that will help you with this most important part of your business, which is understanding the importance of generating hot leads into your business through your content. But if you already know how important it is for you to grow your email list, you might stumble upon one challenge, which is figuring out what to share with your audience in exchange of their email. What kind of free, very valuable resources can you create in order to make people want to download your free resource in exchange of their email? So today I am going to share with you 10 ideas for you to be able to create a really valuable and attractive and irresistible lead magnet. I am sure that by now you understood the meaning of lead magnet, but just in case, I'm just highlighting the definition of a lead magnet, which is a valuable free resource that you offer to your audience in exchange of their name and their email address. But know that sometimes you also call it freebie. So I might use sometimes the word lead magnet and other times freebie. Ultimately, what you want to do is to make sure that people not only download your workbook, but also tick the box to receive your newsletter so that you can continue to build a relationship with them and nurture them with great value. And once in a while, also come to them with a real offer where you promote your product or service so that they can know what they can buy from you. So this means that you do need to really have in place a consistent content strategy where you regularly create new content to nurture the people who are actually downloading your free resources. Obviously, there's no point of putting so much effort in growing your email list if you don't keep nurturing them over time. When you have a portable business, you need to consider your free content as a way to create a relationship with your audience, to make them really like you, trust you, and want more from you. So this is why this part of building your strategy is super, super important. So if you want to learn more about how to create content and also how to make sure that your lead magnet is GDPR friendly, I will also put the links of some specific episodes on the topic in the show notes of this episode. GDPR stands for General Data Privacy Regulation, which is the European Union's regulation on how companies process people's data. You cannot just take people's emails and put them into your email list. They need to have given you consent to receive your content and your newsletter. So this is something that I highly insist on. Don't just take people's emails and send them your things. It's really important that you follow these rules. And last but not least, before I start listing all these 10 ideas, I also want you to know that each of these ideas, I've been illustrating them to you with great visual examples. So this is really special gift that I have for you, which is as well a lead magnet so you can see it in action. I really recommend you to download this freebie where I will share with you a specific example for each one of these 10 ideas. The goal is to fuel you with ideas so that you can come up with some great ones that you can apply to your specific business. And the main goal of this freebie, remember, is to give a real value to your audience and offer them with quick wins that they can experiment right away. Give them a taste of the transformation you can offer them. So here we go. Idea number 1 is cheat sheet or template. I know in Tandem Nomads listeners, you adore those ready-made templates that you can implement right away. I've offered a few of them over the years. And for example, I've offered one template that was all about websites that would show you exactly what to put in which page of your website. And I also have another one that I recently offered, which was an Excel sheet that helps you manage your finances. All you have to do is to enter the numbers and it will automatically calculate the important figures that you need to track in your business. So in the show notes of this episode, as I said, I can visually show you how this looks like. Make sure to download it. So that was number 1. Idea number 2 are checklists or toolboxes. So these are very similar to cheat sheet or templates, but they even offer even faster results because it's an immediate resource that can they can really use right away and give them a win right away. So I'll share with you an example as well in the illustrated ideas workbook of this show notes. Idea number 3, and this one is one of the most popular ones, are guides. It could be called ebook, workbook, sometimes it's a recipe book or things like that. It's basically guides that have a little more information than a typical cheat sheet or checklist, that go sometimes a bit deeper into the topic as well, that can really be helpful for your audience to learn really important things or to be able to get the information they need to experience a change or a transformation. And in my case, one of my signature lead magnets, I will explain later the difference between signature lead magnets and others, but one of my most popular guides is the 3C system, where I teach you my 3 steps to grow a successful portable business. And it's with exercises and templates and fillable boxes. So it's really something that takes a little more time to consume, but it actually really goes deep into the topic. So same here, you will find the example inside the resource that I planned for you in the show notes. Now, number 4 is a video or an audio training. This is typically something that can be very helpful for example, yoga teachers or meditation teachers, where your audience will download one single video or one single audio to help them solve a specific problem. Example number 5 is a mini course or video/audio series. So here it's more than just one video or one audio training. This is a more complex type of lead magnet where you actually deliver a course with multiple videos, and it might take also multiple days to consume. For example, I have a mini training called the brainstorming session to unleash your zone of genius and find your idea, your business idea. And this one is delivered over 4 weeks. So people sign up and they receive every single week one video, one very short video training of 5 minutes, and one workbook to implement the exercises. So again, this is for those who are really committed to get some great experience and to really solve a very specific problem and want to taste the type of services or product that you provide. So I highly recommend this. This one really takes a bit of time to produce, but it can be very helpful when you have a high-end product to sell at the end, so that your audience will really see the kind of value you provide for free. And then they can then realize, if you can provide this for free, imagine what happens when they pay. Then idea number 6 is a free trial or a discount. So here, for example, if you're a coach, you can offer a 30-minute free session or a 1-hour free session for your potential clients. This is a way to give a taste of your coaching. However, especially if you're a coach, I would not recommend you to have this as your only freebie, because there are some people who are not yet ready to hop on a call with you right away. So they might need something a bit easier with less engagement at the beginning. However, you can combine it with one of the other ideas to bring people in, those who are ready to take action. Or, for example, if you have a product or an e-commerce type of business, you can also offer a promo code to help your ideal clients start buying with confidence, and also attract them and make it irresistible for them to get the promo code and get a really interesting discount for their first purchase. And then once they are in your list, you can engage with them regularly and offer them other products that they might want to buy. So these are really for typical regular consumption products that people can buy on a regular basis. Let's say, for example, if you sell soap, offering a promo code to buy the soap online for the first time and then make them regular consumers of that soap. This is a typical great product where you could offer a free trial or discount. Idea number 7 And this one is specifically for technology, IT type of products and apps, is offering a free demonstration, or what is called in the startup field a freemium. So, for example, if you use an email marketing system, like for example, MailChimp or ConvertKit, they would sometimes offer you a first month for free, or they will offer you certain features for free. And then when you want to upgrade, then you start paying. So this is a great strategy for them to get your email list so that you can test the product and then buy for them once you are serious about the product and want to take it to the next level. I also have visuals for you, as I said, in the document of the show notes. Idea number 8. So this one is also an idea that can take a little more time to produce, but can really be super effective. And these are challenges. Organizing a challenge where you engage with your audience on a regular basis to achieve a certain challenge can really be very exciting and engaging with your audience. But as I said, it can take some preparation. So I have, for example, an example with my great friend, Sunday Bean. She's done a great job with challenges. And I give you an example of a challenge inside the workbook of this show note as well. Let's say you are a nutritionist and you give a challenge of changing people's habits during 7 days. So every day you could send to your audience tips and recipes to implement so that they can start eating more healthily. And then you would have a section where you can engage with them, exchange with them. You could even accompany the challenge with a Facebook group or something like that creates as well a community feel. Now, example number 9. So this is also something that is a little bit more labor intensive, but when you know how to do it, can really grow your email list very fast and is very popular. And these are quizzes. So people love games and people love to know what they're good at, who they could be, and things like that. So you obviously have to make sure that your freebie is aligned with the business you provide, but quizzes can really be a great way for you to be able to grow your email list very quickly. And I'll show you an example as well in the show notes of this episode when you download those 10 illustrated ideas. Last but not least, also very intensive in terms of labor, but super, super effective and high engagement with your audience are webinars and online workshops. So these are live and they are delivered live. There are some that you can actually pre-record, but typically they don't work as well as those that are delivered live. So organizing webinars is something that I highly recommend you to do on a regular basis in your business. For instance, once a quarter, you can organize a webinar that has for sole intentions to serve your audience, grow your email list, and at the end of the webinar, you can also make your offer to really bring your audience to your world and your services or products. So these were your 10 great ideas of lead magnets that I highly recommend you to consider to be able to grow your email list. And to download the illustrations of each one of these examples, go to tandemnomads.com/237. But I'm not done yet. I want to give you a little more of insights to help you do this effectively. First of all, in your business, you should definitely have one signature lead magnet, one that is always accurate, that is always working. And some of these ideas that I gave you, some of them could be signature and timeless or evergreen lead magnets, and others maybe not so much. So, for example, a cheat sheet or a checklist, a toolbox, a guide, a video, a mini course, a free demonstration. These are things that you could offer as a signature lead magnet, just like my workbook called the 3C System to Revenue and Impact. This is my typical signature lead magnet because it really represents my signature method, the method I use to work with all my clients. So think about your business. What is that signature methodology or other things that you have that can really represent very well your trademark and your brand? Then You might also, once in a while, add other freebies to your signature lead magnets. For example, in this episode, I have one freebie that I created specifically for this episode. That is the illustrations of these examples. Or, for example, the Excel sheet that I created to manage your finances. That is a very specific lead magnet. That is not something that I share all the time, but I did bring to add value. So very often those lead magnet, there are not signature lead magnets, there are more punctual lead magnets. They tend to have sometimes even more traction than signature lead magnets because they really elevate your free content with something that is very valuable to what you're talking about in that blog post, in that podcast episode, or on that video. So make sure whenever you can to accompany your free posts, your free content with a very specific resource that's very valuable and irresistible that will make people want to download so that you can really elevate their experience with the resource that you provide them. So number one, make sure to create a signature lead magnet that you share whenever you don't have time to do those punctual lead magnets. And once in a while, elevate your free content and bring a specific lead magnet that helps them have even a better experience with it. And keep in mind, it's all about giving value as much as you can and serving your audience so that they can really trust you and see the value that you could bring to them once they decide to pay you for your product or service. When you think that there is a lead magnet that you have, but that you would start doubting if you should share it because this is something that your clients would have to pay for, then that's when you know that that's an extremely valuable freebie, and I would not hesitate in sharing it because you're not sharing the whole thing about your business. You're just giving a taste of something. For example, these examples that I shared with you is something that I share in my online course, and I'm giving it for free in this episode. And the Excel sheet, for example, that I shared a few weeks ago about managing your finances effectively, that's also something irresistible because I only usually share it with my client. But it's okay. The more value you give, the more trust people will have. So don't hesitate. If you feel like this is something so good that people should pay for it, then go ahead and share it. This is how you build trust, and this is how you build a solid relationship with your audience. The other point I wanted to highlight about your freebies, some of them are evergreen, which means can be used anytime, and some of them are not necessarily evergreen. For example, challenges and webinars are not freebies that you can do all the time. So make sure that if you have a really good freebie that is not evergreen, that you also create another one that's evergreen so that you can keep growing your list even when you don't offer those extremely highly convertible freebies such as challenges and webinars. But if they work really well for you, make sure to do them regularly and consistently. Also, just in case it is not obvious to you, I still want to highlight one point. For you to be able to really grow your email list and grow your audience, not only you need to have consistent free content at least once a month, that's really to the extreme, but ideally every single week have free content. But also you need to have an email marketing system. You need to have an online tool that helps you collect these emails on an automatic base and then share your newsletter automatically as well. So an email marketing systems are, for example, MailChimp, ConvertKit. I highly recommend ConvertKit because I've been using it and I love it. I also used MailChimp in the past and I found that ConvertKit was so much more effective. It was sometimes more of an investment than MailChimp that's free at the beginning, but I highly recommend it for the long term if you're really serious about your business. Sometimes investing in something solid so you don't have to start from scratch afterwards when you grow. This is something I highly recommend. So you need to have free content for this to work. You need to be consistent with your free content, and you need an email marketing tool for you to do this effectively. And when you have an email marketing tool, you need to have a form where people sign up to these free resources. So if you want examples of that, again, you want to check in the document that I prepared for you with all the illustrations of these ideas. I also gave you the links of some of these examples where you can see the forms. So here, one of the things that I really insist on is to make sure that you are making people give their consent to send them your newsletters. So check out my freebies, where I do this in the way that I recommend to do it, where you can see the text that I put next to the freebie, where people have to give their consent to receive the newsletter on top of the freebie. So check that out. And last but not least, I know that starting to create a lead magnet or a freebie can be daunting at the beginning and overwhelming. So my big advice to you is start simple. You don't have to have a fancy thing. It's much better to have something that's really basic and simple, and you start sharing it. And as you grow, you start upgrading your content and improving your content. So don't wait for the perfect freebie. Start first and perfect later. This is really important, because you will see sometimes by looking for the perfect thing, we keep waiting and never do it. My biggest regret was to not start growing my email list much earlier. So don't do that mistake. And I see so many people waiting too long that they get so exhausted of not seeing any traction in their business that they end up giving up their business. So this is the one mistake you don't want to do. Start simple, start first, and perfect later. So simple can be a simple checklist, a simple cheat sheet, or a simple template, or simple guide, something easy for you to do. And as soon as you put it out, make sure to share it regularly, which we'll talk about, but make sure to do it. That's important. All right, I was talking about sharing. So what do you do once you have your freebie? Well, you need to make sure that people know about it and download it, right? So I will have a whole episode on that. So stay tuned for the episode number 239, where I give you some key strategies of how you can grow the number of people who actually see your freebie and download it. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, you can already start working now in developing your freebie, and then when you come back next time, I'll tell you how to share it with the world and make people see it and download it. All right? So Nomad Nation, take action. Don't wait any longer. Don't make this mistake. Otherwise, you'll get exhausted and tired. Your email list is directly related to the growth of your business. Don't forget this as you move forward in your business. And if you have any feedback, make sure to reach out to me. You will find my email address when you download this illustrated workbook with all these examples. So you will have my email if you want to reach me by email or by Instagram. DM me. I'd love to follow you and get in touch with you. Nomad Nation, I can't wait to hear from you. Go to tandemnomads.com/237 to find all the resources that I mentioned today. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Stay tuned to turn your challenges into great opportunities.